Next thing I want to talk about is Gayton. Since the election results are pretty much official, pretty much done, ANC 30, that is 40, 39%. They really bummed out. Niggas really fucked up. And yeah, but somebody who didn't fuck up is the PA, the Patriotic Alliance, led by Gayton McKenzie. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. They got, I think, 2 point something percent, which means they got some seats in parliament. So good for them. Gayton, he is definitely gunning for the ministry that he wants is Home Affairs, because he wants to get rid of all foreign nationals in this country. Damn. What did we do, Gayton? What did we do? Okay, so specifically wants to get rid of the illegal ones. So not me. But yeah, so he's talking to Tembikile Mokgothotho on Eyewitness News, and yeah, he's pretty much grilling him, asking him this and that. We're gonna get into it. Let's have a listen.
The mass deportation of foreign nationals who are in South Africa.
I'm basically saying to
how
them,
would it work? Talk me through the mechanism in which you would see that happening, because as things stand, there isn't even accurate enough data as to how many people are in South Africa illegally.
everybody, you should be asked your passport.
By who?
By the authorities.
Where?
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, what?
Enough authorities for.
No, but that's a problem we can fix. We can hire our children sitting at home to say, come, ask them for the, not only ask illegal foreigners, ask the Gayton McKenzies. When you meet anybody, give me your passport, let's see how you're South African. If you're not, lie on, if he's not, take him.
Is that why you say you, in any negotiation for a coalition, you'd want to be in charge of the Home Affairs Ministry?
Yes, because you see, here's the issue. People say we're going back to the Dompas era. I get stopped as Gayton McKenzie and they want to see my license. I get anywhere, they say, where's your license, where's your ID, before you get in. No, what's wrong with that? You've got nothing to hide.
Where these are places.
Gayton. Cap, come on, you Gayton McKenzie, everybody can recognize, everybody knows. But even before you were in politics, everybody knew who you were for your history and all of that. So let's be honest, niggas ain't asking for your ID. Let's be honest. Come on, you Gayton McKenzie. You're the leader of one of a strong opposition party. You're on the news all the time. People see your face plastered all over the city, your political party. So I know niggas are not asking for your ID like that. Come on, Gayton.
This is where you're going for official purposes, I'd imagine.
Not only that, I can drive out here. It's not official purpose when I go buy myself a McDonald's and the cops stop me for my license. That's not official, buying a McDonald's.
So how would you see it? I'm trying to understand the practicalities. If you say, for example, we're all being asked to, let's say, show identification, do you then deploy Home Affairs officials, police, en masse everywhere? It doesn't sound very feasible.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Start with the beginning. What does the laws of this country say? There's 4 things. Number 1, I'm asking for the law to be followed to the letter. The law says you cannot be here, being here illegally. That's the law. That's not PA. That's not
the law.
And all the parties, I think, in their manifestos agree that
that's the law.
Can't be in the country.
So what we are asking is to enforce the law. That's all we're asking. We are not saying anything else. We are not saying turn a blind eye, because now it's being turned a blind eye. Foreign illegal foreigners in this country are marching, going to stand in front of Home Affairs officers, illegal foreigners. What is that? This is not a jumping castle of a country. This is
a jumping castle of a country. Jeez, that's hilarious.
You, Gayton, also relook rules around asylum, because often there's people want the things are either merged right or wrong, where there are people who say, well, they're here because they're stuck and there's simply nowhere else to go. And they say they fled conflict, poverty, etc.
Nonsense. Let me explain to you the rules of asylum. An asylum seeker should flee to the nearest country. How do you jump from Nigeria here? How did you get here? That nonsense they will tell other leaders, not me. I know the law. Secondly, these asylum seekers we have here, they go on holiday December, go check at the border. You can't even go to Zimbabwe. That's number 2. What asylum seeker goes back to Ukraine? Ukrainians are real asylum seekers because there's war. There's not war in Zimbabwe. There's not war in Nigeria. What are they doing here?
And realistically then, let's say you go into a coalition and there's
okay, interesting.
agreement that is what you would do. You'd have the numbers right in the House, in the National Assembly, to even pass a new, let's say if you're passing a new law around a sort of mass deportation.
Yes.
When that happens, how long would you want the people who gave the PA their vote to give you in order to make that happen? Because the problem with policies, whether it's on the issue of illegal immigration, employment, crime, people say, well, we vote because you promise us, and then the next election rolls around and all the political parties say, well, it's a work in progress, but you don't even see the progress necessarily. So how long is fair enough?
I think the people that voted for me, trust me, people want to see action. You know, the ANC promised 1 million houses. People still vote for ANC or they didn't get the houses because they saw somebody else get the house. So when people see laws being enacted laws being implemented, laws being worked on, policy being worked on. They can see there's a movement towards that. Don't underestimate the power of our 9 seats we win to get in parliament.
So you don't want to put a timeline to it?
Oh, we got 9 seats. Shut up.
We are sharp people. We are not these old people sleeping there.
Year 2, 3, 4?
No, I'm talking what year 3? We're talking months when we get there. We are not taking old people there just going to sleep. We are taking people when we get there, they are going to work same time. Do this. But my brother, you know where we are sitting in city of Joburg. The mayor we are under mayor with 2 seats, 3 seats.
So
he controls here what? 9 seats. Do you know that if the DA and everybody else form the Moonshot Pact, if they get the numbers together, and the ANC and all the parties on the left and the parties on the right, they sit together, and then they must come to us.
And I hear you on what you're saying about getting things done. The problem is, especially if we're going to, in your policy, employ people in effect to better implement the rules, the laws. We're already told by government, or at least this possibly outgoing government, that there's austerity, government spending needs to be trimmed down. Would that how do you prioritize that in a country where there's so many competing interests in terms of, again, the issue of jobs, which you've talked about, healthcare, education, housing?
You know what? The problem is that you must not judge what is possible.
And I think that's a good question, because he's essentially saying, like, you guys, your party is so focused on mass deportation of illegal immigrants, all of that. What about the other sectors and the other areas that matters just as much? You know, healthcare, fucking, you know, employment, all of that. You just focus on one area, and like that's the base that you're pushing, and that's the rhetoric that you're pushing for your party. But like, people also need to know, nigga, yeah, you're gonna deport these people. We're gonna get jobs though. We're gonna get healthcare. Like, what's the vibes? You know what I mean? You can't just say you want mass deportation and that's it.
By what the ANC has achieved. The ANC has underachieved in this country. When you want to talk austerity measures and stuff like that, do you see the excess cars, the blue lights? Do you see lots of security guards? Cut there, start somewhere there, cut that, cut those all those.
Cut it.
If you are serious about this thing, we have minerals in abundance. We are arguably one of the 3 richest countries in the world. With one of the 3 countries in the world, not the richest, with the richest minerals. We are endowed with lots of minerals. Let me make an example with Central Karoo. For 80 years, people have been using bucket toilets. The ANC was in charge, the DA was in charge. I came there and I said, in 100 days, I'll remove him. I did it in 100 days. People were drinking dirty water. I said 100 days. So we are 100-day people. We don't have time to waste time, whatever. Our people, they voted for us. They are impatient. They trust us, but they don't have another 30 years.
Let's talk about other issues. Helen Zeller.
Okay. We hear you getting. And yeah, I mean, shout out to the PA. I mean, they really pulled a magic trick, you know, to get the 2% that they got, which is 9 seats. I think they got over 350,000 votes, something like that. Really dope. Shout out. And I mean, it's good to see somebody in the forefront that's there fighting for his community, his people, which is obviously the colored people. And yeah, I think it's great, man, because I'll be honest, I haven't seen nobody be fighting for the colored people. So at least they've got somebody on their corner who's gonna, you know, be there to put their interests on the table and enforce them. And just, you know, obviously everybody needs we're all, like, black people, we have our representation. There's so many parties have the interests of black people. White people, they've got their 1 or 2 party. But, you know, colored people, and not, I mean, I don't know, it's I don't want to get political into it, so I'm gonna leave it there, because I don't want to now start saying things I don't know. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Gayton, shout out to PA, and let's see what they're gonna do, man. Let's see what they're gonna do. Hopefully, it's not just gonna be, you know, another what. But yeah, I think that was it. And yeah, shout out to Tembikile, man. He's really fucking good. I think Tembikile needs to be given his flowers, because he's a great presenter, great interviewer, and yeah, he knows the right questions to ask. He knows how to control a conversation. He knows how to push back. You know, he's really good, man. I fucks with him. Remember, he did that AKA interview, and yeah, that was a fiery one. So shout out to Tembikile, man. Cool. Let's move on.